Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Finance Story, a career insight platform focused at helping people in finance accelerate their careers. So, in the recent past, we have seen a surge in tax professionals, a surge in demand for tax
Mhm.
professionals in the UAE, and also a surge in the people wanting to move to the UAE, Saudi Arabia, GCC in general, for career opportunities. So we've been getting a lot of requests from our readers to discuss what career opportunities one can expect, because of corporate tax, which is soon going to be a part of the UAE. So no one better than Hany, Elnagger, who's an associate partner at WTS Dhruva, GCC, and Middle East to help us understand the opportunities. Previously, Hani has worked in several large MNCs and companies in Saudi, Egypt, and Dubai as a head of tax, and he's the best person, to actually answer all the career opportunities that one can expect, from the corporate tax coming in. Hani, thank you so much for joining in and making the time, and it means a lot to have you. Thank you.
No, pleasure is mine, of course, Chantal.
Thank you so much. So, and everyone watching, if you all have any questions, please comment and let us know your questions. We will answer it. We'll answer every single question. So, feel free to ask your questions. So, Hani, I'll start with my first question to you is like, I understand you started your career in Egypt, and which is your home country, and then you moved to various places in the GCC, be it Saudi, Dubai. So let us know your main reason. Why did you move to various places, and what career scope did you observe?
Yeah, that's a good question, Chantal, that we can use as a start. Yeah, I remember back days and when I was in Egypt and I was working in a very also famous multinational company, multinational group, and I was thinking about okay, now I spent some years or many years in Egypt now, and I will not say be because everyone keep learning every day, but at least I reached to the point that I felt that yeah, it's now it's a time to add another experience, other value for me. So I start to think about moving to one of the country in GCC. At this time, I my expectations, even I discussed with my management at this group at this time that GCC will come for tax for sure. It's a matter of time. It's maybe not more than 5 years. Taxes will be everywhere in GCC. So it's when you start earlier, it will be much better when it implemented or tax start to implement it and you start to look about opportunity because people say you will prefer someone have GCC experience. Okay. So I decided, I said, okay, I want to move now in one of the country. I targeted at this time UAE and KSA. UAE, it was option two because UAE, there is no corporate tax. Yeah, headquarters here. They are managing tax function across the region. But to be in the middle of the ocean to learn how to swim, so you need to be one of the countries that already have a tax system, like KSA. Good thing, Alhamdulillah, thanks God, that while I was thinking, I got this offer to move to KSA. And I remember very well, even my friends at this time in Egypt also, they was a little bit surprising that I moved on the same package that I was taking in Egypt at this time. And they said, okay, how come you are traveling, leaving your home country and taking same package? I said, yeah, see our life like, as a curves. So sometimes be like this, sometimes be like this. But if you take this line or curve, so you will take it for certain time to be like this again. So, but if you start to go like this quickly, you will fall quickly again. So I moved. I decided to move, and I moved, and I start to even for this group. Also, I was lucky. There is no tax function, no tax department, no tax team. So I started from scratch with them, and I can tell you, it's dramatically changed my whole experience in the region because I was involving in was based in KSAS, but I was managing also other GCC and Middle East countries. So it's mainly for scope and experience to gain. Of course, connection also is very important. As long as you are staying in isolated area or no connection, no one knows you, you're not interacting with people. You will not get more experience, more connection. So all of these factors, I used it to decided to move to GCC. And when I moved to Saudi, I start to go here and there, here and there. So yeah,
So you got an entire, you understood the entire GCC market while you were in Saudi. So it
yes,
helped.
yeah, yeah. It
Okay.
helps a lot. Yes.
Thanks, Honey. That's great. So, my follow-up question is how different is, the tax opportunities or the tax system as well, say in Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and in the UAE right now? How different and complex is it, or simple?
There is no, we will never use simple word for tax. It's always complicated. But the complexity level is different from country to country. Egypt is very famous about taxes, like also from your home country, India as well. So, but I'm talking about in Middle East countries.
Yeah.
So I can rank it even Egypt number one for complexity, and maybe and then Jordan or Egypt and Jordan both maybe. Uh, but when I remember also when I moved to KSA in 2013, I remember, yes, uh, it was taxes there at this time. There is a taxes, but not too much complicated like we have now. Now, many changes happened, many new regulation happened. International tax aspects start to be implemented not only in KSA but other countries as well. But in KSA, I'm focusing on regulations, circulars, clarifications. VET came, and when VET came, people start to ask about what is this taxes. Even when I moved to KSE and KSE or UAE at this time, many people, when you met them in KSE, they are not familiar about these taxes. What is this taxes? So, but later, I can tell you, even from candidate perspective, there is no single local from KSA was interested to work on taxes. Now you can see the market, mashallah, in KSA, a lot of Saudi candidates now work in tax markets, and some of them, or many of them, they are performing very well. So, and not only KSA, it's Qatar also, Oman also, Kuwait also. All of these countries, each country has its own complexity about taxes. And it's a different. Saudi, they have zakah system beside tax. Other countries don't have, except for Kuwait. Also, Kuwait also have zakah, but not like Saudi. So, but as a tax professionals, if you already have a good or a proper background, you are you want or you're able to meet any challenges. Then I don't see an issue to work for any country. You can see, even I will give you one very recent example, not recent now, it's past 5 years now, even when VET implemented in UAE, there is no one have a VET experience. It was new tax. But many people came from other countries, and now they are more than 5 years in the country. Now they are become very professionals. So, but again, it's only about capabilities, willing to meet the challenges. You have a different thinking, listening, very important, because I met also some people, they just only jump in and start to get into the discussion, but at the end, it's not healthy for them or even for the other people, especially when you move to another or new country. Even in the same country, when you move from company to company or firm to firm, you need to spend some time, listen, learn, see what's happening. Then you start to uh, engage on daily work.
Well said. True. So, Hani, I also have pointers, questions for you on, what opportunities can people find in Saudi, in Kuwait, in Qatar, not only the UAE, okay, but I will take that later on. But my follow-up question is, you've recently moved, to a tax advisory firm.
Yeah.
Previously, from what I see, when in Egypt you were working with the government in tax. Then you worked with PwC, I guess, for 1 year or so, right? And then for a long span of time, you for over a decade you were heading tax teams for large companies, and in your previous role was Altair. So, how and why did you decide to move as a tax advisor with a consulting firm?
Yeah, see, this is because of my experience with dealing with the advisory firms. So I felt, or I was pretty sure that having mixed experience, when you have industry experience and have also advisory firm experience, it will be amazing in the market. You can imagine when you sit or discuss with any client, the client or the taxpayer, when he start to speak with someone from advisory firm, he have a industry background, he feel very comfort. And one of the things that maybe you will not see it too much on the market, but Druva, one of the things they think smartly. They said, okay, we start to have discussion together, and this now, if we inject someone or bring someone have industry experience, then also it will be very beneficial for them or benefit for them when dealing with the taxpayer or the clients. So I don't see any big difference or any difference. Whatever you are doing on the right side, you can do it on left side. Again, it's a taxes. So okay, uh, yeah, you can read the law, you can read the regulation, whatever circular, you can describe it to the client. But you can imagine also if someone speak to you or discuss with you, and you understand what he's looking for, what he's speaking about, so it'd be very much easier to deal with him. It's a big challenge also for me because after this many years industry, and then move to in advisory firm. But again, I will come back. I will return back to my first point. Always be open and willing for new challenge and prove yourself. If you start to be afraid to step your leg in in anything differently, you will not be 100% succeed in this tax world, because you can see many people working in taxes, some of them above 50, 60 now, but they're still doing this small scope in the companies. I'm not saying they are bad or no, they are amazing guys, but they don't have this willing of meeting new challenges, moving from here, learning. uh, but this is my personal view. Of course, some people they said no, for us we need to stay as we are. It's a comfort zone. We will continue as we are. So it's up to everyone, of course. It's a decision.
True, true that. So, Hani, my question is, what? So there'll be a lot of people who are looking at joining tax firms, specialized tax firms, right?
Hmm.
So what are the? Can you elaborate a little more on the challenges that you could have faced, or you are with respect to being a tax decision maker in your previous role and now into an advisory role, right? So, any challenges which you could share a little bit, or some new experiences?
See, maybe it will be this question. It will be more valid for someone junior who is working for 2 3 years in industry and move to an advisory firm. So he can face some challenges for not able to understand what is the environment, how he can deal with the people, client. But for senior rules, I don't see. Because again, it's whatever I was doing in my previous role, I'm doing now, but from other side. So uh, I don't see from work perspective big challenge, but as advisory firm or the consultation firm, you have to deal with many people at one time. Okay, and each client he have his own needs, and each client he thought that you only dedicated to him, only to him. Okay, so whenever he calls you, send you an email, he immediate answer or immediate answer or reply. And some of them it's a huge task, huge project, and he can imagine, yeah, you can do it in 1 minute. So this is one of the biggest challenges that you need also to make that the client happy, satisfied with your performance with them. Also because I work in industry, also I know that sometimes very become very urgent. I need someone to support me immediately on this topic or this question or whatever. So I can understand the pressure they are have or they already have. I already faced before. But this is I can highlight it as one of the challenges that should be the whoever joining for advisory firm should be aware about this one. The other challenge or not a challenge, I think it's a good also, not challenge, but you should be on minutes, not daily, minutes base, to be updated with everything in the market. So you can imagine, but if you are managing also other countries, not one country, so you need to be on top of in each single update for each country. So if someone calls you, Hani, we heard that in Qatar we have blah 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 1 2 3. If you're not updated or aware about it, you can imagine as an advisory guy in front of the client, you lose your confidence. He will lose your confidence. You don't know what's happening. So okay, bye bye. Thank you. In industry, yeah, you are focusing in one industry, maybe one company. If you have managing groups, there is one group. If it's a regional role, yeah, it's much bigger. So it depends. It depends on the scope itself.
So, Annie, how do you keep yourself updated? Like with everything, especially when you're looking at so many countries in the region.
Yeah, so to be updated for taxes, you have many channels. You have social media, you have official website for the governmental tax authority. You have your own connections, which already built in these countries, either from advisory, industry, governmental authorities, media. So you should keep continuously log in and see, and searching also to choose any search engine to search. Maybe you can something is not published, but you already have your own view. So you can search about it, you can investigate more, you can ask some people, so you can know, there is an instruction published in this country some months back. No one aware about it. But to be updated, you need to use your all resources, media, connections, reading, everything. I will not categorize it, but everything.
Is there any website or platform where you get live tax updates in the region or not yet?
No, it's IBFD, one of but it needs subscription, of course. It's not for free, but it's not on spot also, because they are publishing maybe after each after 2 3 days, maybe some after week past. So, but it's a good resource for the people who's starting their career. They can read, you can log in and see what is updates across the world, across the region. Even I give you one of the funny thing also, even for tax authority website itself, sometimes they are publishing thing delayed in publishing. You know what's happening before it's published on the website. But again, in my view, personal view, connection is a very important. If you have a good connection network, then you can be updated easily.
That's
And
that's so true.
we now have this all of this facility in WhatsApp. I am already in many WhatsApp groups in many countries with many my connection friends, already dealt with them before, already worked with them. So e- each one have a new update he posted in this group. He immediately other group member he knows about it. There's
And
one example, not it's not only one. It's not only
yeah.
one. We have many also.
So you're always constantly updating yourself and keeping an eye on what's
Yes.
happening. That's the need.
Yes.
That's the need in advisory. Okay.
It's a must need, very needed, very needed.
Okay. So Hani, since a lot of people want to know about career opportunities over here, right?
Mm.
So, of late there are so many people who are looking at UAE for tax career. So, from your point of view, how is the market? Like, is there a lot of hiring? Is it going to continue? Is it stable? Is it going to decrease, increase? Like, what is your point of view? And who are hiring? Are like large companies hiring or the smaller ones? Is there going to be a lot of tax firms who are going to hire, or the big fours, the big 10 firms? So can you just take us through the demand that will happen or is already existing?
No, there is very high demand now in the market, especially in UAE because of this new city came recently. Uh, the, for the companies who are hiring, everyone is hiring now. Big four, big 10, consultation companies, medium size, big size, small size. But of course, each size they are looking for also what is the size that he will fit them. So small ones they are looking for someone like tax accountant maybe, not tax manager. Um, some of the companies already in UAE or in the regions, they already have their own tax team before, which is already built before. So it's matter of increasing the scope to them, not hiring a new person. But because of the load volume now, they start to hire some other people, a junior level or mid senior level or something like this. Uh, Saudi already booming. Many even you can see also on the media or the news. Many companies start to open branches there or legal entities, or many people also started to look at Saudi as a potential market for them in the future, and start to make some own assessment how to enter Saudi market. Saudi market, the difference between Saudi and UAE, I will come later for other countries. But Saudi now they have locals, many locals. They are working in tax function. Before, of course, as I mentioned also before, no one was interested. But now market now people are very happy and willing to work on tax. Zatka, one of the reasons that makes locals to work on the tax environment in KSA, because they hired many locals, Saudi, fresh graduates, 2 years experience, and people when they start to work inside Zatka, they start to deal with other companies, other clients or taxpayer, sorry, and they start to move from Zatka to other. And Zatka even they was hiring from Big Four, and then Big Four, you can imagine. So Big Four, and then Zatka, and they move to another company. So market now start to be a little bit stable in KSA. Some very certain positions is still reopening or opening, but not very high demand like 3 or 4 years back. Case UAE, as I mentioned, for corporate tax, because of corporate tax, one of the reason now hiring many people now. In my view, it will continue for another couple of years, maximum 3 years. Then it will become very stable. Like when they start for VAT, they had many people with VAT, and after a couple of years, it comes stable. Uh, the UAE, good thing is they already have many people who have a very good background, tax background or tax experience, because they already relocated here for managing other region country. So they're already here. So this is one of the good thing in UAE. There is some uh, candidate or either junior or senior or mid-senior level, they already here in the market for some years back. But again, the demand is still high. Other countries like Kuwait, Qatar, very stable. Very rare to find any job for tax. Only if someone moved, someone died. So, uh, but very rare comparing with other countries. Bahrain, of course, only VAT. But for sure, Bahrain will come also for city for sure. My expectation will be maximum within 2 years. So also Bahrain will open for new candidate to move. So it's a very hot region. But as I keep emphasizing, surviving in the region, yeah, you can move easily, okay? But surviving and prove yourself is not easy.
Okay. Okay. So, I'll just focus on this point. What roles exactly are being hired? So, is it advice? See, we see a lot of people in advisory, a lot of senior folks, are, changing roles and are getting, and are moving into taxation, like even from India and from other countries as well,
Mhm.
and also those who are already here, right? So, but what about those who have no advisory background? Right, so do they is the hiring for them as well started? So can you just emphasize on the roles?
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I can see equal chance for both. If some have advisory background, he can work in industry. Industry, he can work in advisory firm. Uh, I don't see any issue. But again, it's based on his capability. Some people I met some people from big names, fancy names, but they don't have a proper experience to work on the region. Forget about the regulation here or the tax system here. I'm talking about the capability, personal capabilities. Okay, uh, and one of the things also before I forgot, any candidate should be in his mind very important point that you don't know anything instead of you saying I know. Okay, because I met many candidates because he read something, he worked 1 or 2 years, he feels that he now a manager for that. Yeah, it's good because of course to have this feeling, but my personal advice, don't start after a couple of years. You can consider yourself that you already now aware of everything. No, it's not like this. It's not like this at all. And you need to listen, learn. This is one of the very important points that any candidate who want to move, he should be very aware about it. And also, if someone move, like when I moved from Egypt in the beginning of my career in GCC. When I work, I remember I never said, yeah, but in Egypt we did this. Why you are doing this like this one? Yeah, no, I never. Spend some months learning what's happening, what's happening. Yeah, what's here, what's there. Then I start to adapt the position. I start to run to work. But other candidates, when I saw them move from other country, no need to mention of country names. Once he step in and start work either in an industry or advisory firm, he start to say, no. In my country we have this. No, it's a different country, different regime. Yeah, basic can be there, but forget about it. Forget about it. Focus on what we have now and listen and don't challenge people in the market, especially when you move. And not less than 2 years, 3 years, because it's a very I will not say complicated, but it's not easy tax system in the GCC. It's becoming very now, and tax authorities now become very clever, updated on everything in new now they are updating. So yeah, um, something like this.
Those are some great insights, Hani. I mean, you have to have the capability to learn and continuously learn, right?
Yeah,
And also adapt to the new environment and the new people and the new system. Okay,
true.
that's a great pointers. So, Hani, what is the hiring that's happening at your firm, and how do you all hire? Do you all hire through direct CVs or through referrals? Like a lot of people would want to know.
See, maybe you are very selective in Drew. That's why maybe, yeah, market, we are receiving many CVs. And even personally, some people sending CVs, but I'm not saying these guys are not good, they are good, but they will not fit what we are looking for or not fit for this and that. But we are hiring for all levels, okay? We are now in the market now because of new taxes expanding, so we are open for hiring for many levels, okay. However, industry also for companies also the same. I saw in many companies now they are looking for senior level or junior level. They are looking for every level they are looking for. Uh, so I don't know. I can, from my personal perspective, anyone, any level, any experience, he can find a job in the market now. But again, he should have his capabilities to support survive here.
Okay, okay. So we have this question from Piyush. She says, "Is there any certification related to the tax UAE tax that he can have or he can learn? Any
For
suggestion?"
specifically for tax free, there is EIT. This one. This is only certificate now that people are familiar with EIT. But it's some of the firms or some of the companies they are not requesting. It's not a must to hire someone that they have a tax certificate. Okay, maybe for advisory firm, yes. Now it's become now some of the main requirement. Either you are become user already CA certified accountant, or you have a certificate in tax if you work on tax, or you have another certificate like CBA or CMA, depending on the functions that you're working at. Uh, Also, for some universities, they already have some tax certificates. So in each country, but of course, don't go for this universities which are providing certificate only if you pay something on online send you. This is not good, of course. You need to go admit yourself in a proper course and read the content before you go for this course, and make sure that this certificate or this university it's one of the authenticated one across the world. That it's yeah, you can spend more money, but at least you have something in your hand. It's much valuable rather than other one which they are providing on the market.
Okay, so we have another question from Amarnath, who says, "Are there any opportunities for CAs practicing in India or some other country for outsourcing opportunities in the UAE?" Because recently there was an article by Arabian News, right, which says there's going to be a need for specialized accounting firms in the UAE, and that's going to be a lot more. So if you could elaborate a little bit on the same.
Yeah, outsourcing already there, by the way. It's not new. So it's already here and also in other countries. But depend also again on the company itself or the firm itself, what they are looking for, what is needed. But sometimes there is some scope that can be outsourced. Okay, you can outsource someone in India to, like now, especially during COVID time, we witness on all the GCC countries or Middle East countries, most of the tax authority, they start to have full automation. So instead of physically be present there, all of the filing now become online. So so you can do it from any country. Okay, and even for the company itself or the taxpayer themselves, from their system also, from financial data or accounting data, you can extract it online. They can share with you online. You can prepare whatever reconciliation needed or working needed, and then you can file it. But on some cases, uh, it must be physically present in the country if you are meeting client, if you are working with the management, if you have also not a compliance only role, you have also a strategic role or advisory role together. All of them combined together should be physically present. But my answer is yes. Outsourcing is there. It will be increasing, especially after first filing on UE for corporate tax. Outsource is there. I saw many people they outsourcing some service for VAT filing. Uh, I believe also it will be the same for when the taxpayer start to file annual tax declaration here in UAE.
Okay.
But for now, for phase of the assessment, I don't think I didn't see any one of the markets that to be outsourced because you need someone who can deal. He can immediately approach FT or Minister of Finance. He have his own resources here, have his own connection here because it's a daily changes happening in the market now.
Okay. So it will happen in future, but right now it's not happening. That's what you meant to say.
Yeah, no, it's there. As I mentioned, for outsource, it's already there, but with a very limited scope,
Small.
but can be increased.
Okay, okay. Hani, you focus a lot on getting CVs from candidates where they didn't even have the basic skills that you were looking for, right? Though they've worked in big names, right? So can you elaborate what skills are you looking for, and what skills do you need to succeed in this? In especially, let's talk about the tax domain. What skills do you need in? Yeah.
It depends on the level you are looking for. If I'm hiring a junior guy, it will be different from mid senior from senior guy. Okay, but from myself, I always like and focus on the personality itself because it's easy to let the people who work with you to learn or coach them, but it's difficult to change their personality. Uh, and many interviews I already did, I never discuss about technicalities. Maybe one or two question maximum, but I'm always more keen about his personality, his communication skills. He's willing to listen and learn. Uh, he's only wanted. This is very important also. He just want to move like this because he want to get out from his country, or he want to be gain experience, continue working. Uh, all of these factors can be very big trigger for me to choose a candidate. Fresh graduate also or junior, maybe 1 2 years experience, they also have a good opportunity in the market now for the companies because the taxpayer already they have own finance team which already overloaded. So by this new regimes which already come or this system already came in UAE, they need someone who supports the finance team, but from tax side. So from data reconciliation, extracting the data, preparing some sheets, some document. So it's a good opportunity, and I saw in many positions in the market they open for junior guys.
Okay, okay. So Amir has a question like, what are the hierarchy levels in the tax domain? Like, starting from an associate and so on. If you could just elaborate a little on this
No,
one.
he's asking about consultation firms.
Yes, consulting firms.
Yeah, consulting firm, it's see it can be also different from firm to firm, but in general it be he can start as advisor, senior advisor. Some of the firms are using another title like executive, senior executive. It depends from firm to firm. But as a starting, he can start as a advisor. Some of them associate, then senior associate or senior advisor, and then assistant manager, senior manager, director, executive director, associate partner, and partner. Some of the firms you already eliminated one of the level between. Some of them already increase levels, maybe associate one, associate two. So it depends from firm to firm.
Okay. There's another question which says, can we get an idea about the UAE taxation? I guess that would be too long, right, to address. Oh, would you want to give a little bit of a
What
glimpse?
is this? The question? Can we get basic idea how UAE taxation work in this session? No,
Yeah,
it's very difficult.
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm happy to take it offline because it's in totally new. You can imagine new corporate tax implemented. So it's a very
Any
yeah.
book you suggest to read or any piece that you
Yeah,
suggest?
he can read. He can start reading the law itself and to be updated because Minister of Finance here in UAE keep publishing, releasing guidelines or clarification or cabin decrees. So he need to be also be because all of these cabin decrees or guides which published, all of them, and we're still waiting. Also, there is many will come. It's very important because it's clarify each topic on the tax law or each treatment in tax law. Uh, this is my advice. Start reading the law, the circulars, whatever released in UAE related to the corporate tax.
Okay. Hani, I have this question. Since you interact with so many clients, like on the advisory side, right? Any tips, skills, any, that you would want to share of how somebody else who's going to enter a similar profile, how should they interact with clients? Anything, any etiquettes about the region that they should keep in mind?
No, but again, it depends for the level. Of course, it's not required from junior guys to meet clients and discuss with them. Senior guys, yeah, it's required from them to meet and discuss. But maybe I can share something. Of course, which I already highlighted before, that you should be very updated when you meet any client. And again, no one knows everything. Uh, each one have, for sure, maybe he missed something, but at least he have a proper update and background when we meet client and discuss with him. One of the also important points that if you don't know something, say I will check and update you later. Don't, because it's taxes and it's very risky. If you pretend that you know and give a client a wrong advice or wrong position, it will be a nightmare later because he can follow this position wrongly and it will be nightmare for him. So this is my main advice. And don't be shy. If you don't know, yeah, say I don't know. I will check. Why should I shy? I say yeah, I know. No, I don't know.
Fair enough. Cool. So, Hani, any other pointers which you would like to, tell others who are watching and who are looking for opportunities already in the UAE or, in some other part of the world?
No, because I already my personal experience on LinkedIn. I keep receiving on private message CVs and people contacting the CV, which I appreciated, of course. And but mm, I will not say it's advice. I will give you advice later, but that's a request for any candidate. I know that you are very willing to work, to change your job, move another country, but choose who you will send this message to him. Okay, for recruiters, for HR, for headhunter, it's okay. You can ask him, but this is his job. But for us, also, we are very loaded, very busy in daily basis. So when you keep receiving message and people they keep start to chasing you and he let me feel guilty that I'm not able to do something for him or for she or he. Uh, so it's a humble request that when you want to start to look for opportunity, choose the person who you are approaching. Okay, then my advice, this is humble request, okay? So go for my advice. My advice: don't apply for everything. It's very strange to find a post in LinkedIn, as an example, requiring a tax manager, and they listed down some conditions. Okay, and we find within 1 hour only the applicants 800. Okay, we know people in these companies. So when we have some chats, friendly chats, when we meet, we have some, and it's very common now in the market. All of these companies now, they are saying 97% from the applicant, no single condition apply for them. They are not, even for some posts, they are looking for tax guy who have an experience for 4 years. Okay, some people are applying no tax background, but he's applying everywhere. Okay, this is not strengthens your position; it weaks your position because market is very close. And by many times you applied, people knows, Hani, he applied for us. Yeah, he applied. So people start to feel that you just apply for fishing. That's it, not applying for a certain role. So be very as the recruiter, or sorry, as the companies or the firms are very selective. Also, you should be very selective. So choose or apply for whatever job that you feel at least more than 50% from the requirement you can meet, but just not apply just for apply, and that's it. I also recently we are hiring some people. Okay, I was very clear in the requirement: Arabic speaker. Okay, many CVs, many people is approaching me. Here is my CV. He's an Arabic speaker. Okay, but it's very clear in the post: Arabic speaker. Yeah, yeah, but please consider. Okay, I will not. I will. Yeah, why you put me in a position that I feel guilty now? Now that so re- it's respecting the post owner for his requirement. It's very good. It's very good. I know I met some people, of course, they are very willing to move, so they are willing to apply. But again, be very selective, be very careful, and choose, because by the time, if someone didn't call you for interview or someone approached you, you start to feel frustrating. Okay, and this is not because of something wrong with you. It's something wrong from the way you talk to approach, or to apply for this position. Someone, I remember some 2 3 months back, he was text me in LinkedIn private message that he's very very sad, because he is applying every day for many jobs, and no one even called him to ask him even have even friendly chat. He was very frustrating. So I start, okay, so what job are you looking for? Yeah, taxi manager or assistant manager. Okay, very good. What is your qualification? Yeah, I worked 1 year in accounting, but I moved for sales team. Okay, so why you are applying for taxi manager and working in sales? So now it's not their mistake; it's your mistake. You put yourself on this position now. So why you put a pressure on you with no need? Yeah. So sorry, I elaborated much more, but this is I'm just sharing what I'm seeing in the market in reality here.
Okay, so if someone has relevant experience, then apply for the job. That's the message. It makes more
At least
or
more than
less.
50%, more than
Yeah,
50.
more than 50%. So, Hani, what if someone does not have, so we see a lot of opportunities for international taxation, transfer pricing, so what if somebody doesn't come from that background, right? And they want to get into similar roles, like they come from a finance or they come from a auditing background, right? So, what can,
But when he move, he should be he need to understand that he will start from scratch, so he can
yes,
accept to work as a junior, not as a
yes,
senior. If someone work have 5 years experience in audit and want to switch, yeah, well, many people are switching from department to department, function to function, but he should be ready to learn and wait for another couple 2 3 years to start to be on. At least you have a proper background to start to run. Okay, so but it's from my personal perspective, he can,
he
and
can.
I know many people in the market. I can tell you also, Chantel, people who was working audit and moved to tax, and very successful guys, and people moved from tax to audit and very successful guys also.
Cool, but they should be willing to start from.
Yes.
They should be, yeah. You cannot assume that hey, just because you've got 10 years of experience in audit, you will come here at a senior role.
No.
You have to
No.
start,
No.
and then you can always grow quickly. There's always
Yeah.
a quick path that happens here.
And
Once you.
also in the relation with the same point, when someone want to move from his country, he should also consider this point. It's good also you raised, but for even for tax, from tax to tax, not from other function. So assuming that he have a 5 years experience in X country, when he want to move to another country, he should sacrifice with at least 3 4 years from experience, because this country will consider him as a fresh. So he should also to sacrifice with something, not insist. No, no, no. I want to move on the same level. Okay, because there is many people here in the market on the same level, so it's much better for them to hire him, not you. So, but if you give them something as a competitive item, like okay, I'm 5 years experience, but I'm willing to join as a junior with 2 years experience on. Yeah, people they will listen to him. Okay, maybe he can move also with 5 years. I'm not saying it's a must to go down, but he should prepare himself that if he find a good company, a good firm, a good opportunity with a good scope, and he can feel that because of his years of experience, he will not able to compete with other candidates, go a little bit down to compete. As I told you in the beginning, also Chantel, when I moved from Egypt to KSA, I moved on the same package. I moved on the same level. Okay. I didn't see. Okay, I have 6 7 years experience. I should be head of tax. No. Why not? Why should I ask this?
Yes, so you have to adjust. You have to understand that you're still new to the market, irrespective of the experience you have. You still have to understand the
Yes.
market. Fair
Correct.
enough.
Correct.
This is a great point. So, so even those who have 10 years, 15 years of experience, you can always start and then you can grow. So that's clear because you've done it, right? You've done it when you moved to the case,
Yeah,
to South.
but for 15 years as a senior guy, maybe this guy's a director now. Yeah, he can move. Also, maybe he can move as a director level. But if sometimes people can offer him a senior manager. Yeah, it's okay. Also, it's a senior role, but you will see. Believe me, in this market, if you are a good candidate with the proper capabilities, you will not stay more than 1 or 2 years, and you immediately will go for the second level or the other level. So you can move as a senior manager, but year 1 year or year after, you will go again for director. And director level, it open a lot of opportunities, or senior level open a lot of opportunities.
Cool. Hani, is if you know Arabic, does Arabic help better in if
It's a very helpful with dealing with the local authorities because all of them Arabic speaker. Some of them, of course, not Arabic speaker. But as a language, even you in India, when you deal with some using your Indian language, it's much better to deal with them. So, but I will not say it's a must. It's sometimes it's needed. Sometimes we prefer. Sometimes not needed. But it's not one of the things that the candidate should be afraid from, that I'm not Arabic speaker. Or no, no, no. It's totally fine.
yeah, okay, it's not a make or break condition.
No,
Great.
no, no.
So we have another question: which is more effective amongst applying through job consultants, LinkedIn, or directly applying through the company website? Do you all hire a lot of job consultants for candidates, or it's usually through referrals?
No, it's a mix.
It's a
Uh,
mix.
Sometimes I know people, so I told them, okay, I need a manager guy. Okay, so some people knows this one, some guy knows this guy. Some of the position came from LinkedIn, some of them from recruiters. So it's mixed. It's mixed. Not, but for the new candidates who want to move, or junior guy from other country who don't have any connection here in the region, then of course he will be have only one resource, which either company site or LinkedIn. Okay, uh, at least till he have some his own connection in the market, then people start to know him, that he can find another job through these guys. By the way, some of the companies, they are not posting any jobs. When you look on the company side, you can find under the careers blank, but you already requested for someone to fill some positions. But this you will know from where, from through your connections.
Connections is very important. You need to know
Very.
people.
Very,
right?
very, very important. Not
Very
because
important.
of hiring, on no, it's only for sharing information, dealing with many people with many culture, different culture, different mentality. It's very important, very important.
It's very important. Okay, we have this question from Arun. How much capacity is there for chartered accountants to practice as a firm in the UAE within taxation and compliance scope?
Sorry, not clear how much capacity is there for short term. What do you mean by this question again? Sorry.
Opportunity. What opportunities do for what opportunities do chartered accountants have? Okay,
Mm.
to practice in the region focused on taxation and compliance. If I want to
Yeah.
start my CA firm, yeah.
In very simple answer, you have a good opportunity. So charter accountants is very, very, very welcomed candidate in the market. And as I mentioned also before, that if you have certificate or CA, it's one of the leverage that you have when you apply for a job. And even some firms now they put a condition to be a CA. By the way,
There is a condition to be a CA.
some
It's
of the firms are some of the firms consultations are using now the CA as a condition to either join them in senior level or to get promoted inside the firm itself.
okay. Okay. Cool. So I guess we've taken all of the questions. Uh, Hani, would you want to conclude with any closing message?
No, I see. First of all, best of luck for everyone, of course. For me personally, I like always work on an dynamic environment. Uh, Keep working on something, keep it changing every day. I don't like to work on a routine environment. GCC, one of the very attractive region now in the world for the tax regimes, either new implementation or changing. Not GCC only, Middle East as well. Because I always using Middle East and GCC because Middle East, some countries cover GCC, but some countries, but in general, Middle East and GCC, very very dynamic region now. Uh, Again, emphasizing on main points that willing to learn, be selective for the jobs that you are applying for, to avoid even personal feelings that you are no one calling you or no one picking up you. Uh, be very updated. Keep update yourself on the changes. Uh, Also, one thing also maybe I forgot to cover. Uh, it's very very much welcome if you have a regional experience rather than one country. So even if you want to move to KSA or Qatar or UAE, it doesn't mean that you focus only on UAE tax. So if you go for interview with me as an example, I can ask this question. Okay, do you have any experience with other GCC country? If he says and someone says no, so who should I pick?
The one
The
who
one who
says
says yes. Uh, and again, it's not because I know he's not based in the region or have experience in the region, but at least he read something. He knows what is this system in this country. I'm not asking for the issue or technicalities. So be very, very updated. Read, build your own connection. Be very willing to learn. Keep silent when you move. Keep listening, not speak. Don't challenge. Don't compare. Don't compare because comparing one of the I personal also experience one of the worst point for the discussions is comparing, especially when in the first 2 or 3 years when you move to another country. Uh, be very, very also um, targeting the company or the firm that you are wanted to work with them, not only to move, but you have other angles that you are looking for: experience, name. Of course, package is very important. Also, no one work for free. But because if you choose rightly, you will continue and stay rightly with the firm or the company.
well said. You mentioned about packages. What if you could just give a little bit of an idea of what are the salary packages like and what can one expect if you
It's
want to take it?
very different from company to company, position to position, firm. But I can tell you some. It's there is no average even for the same level. It's very difficult to say. I know some people they got hired in 10, same qualification experience got hired on 5. So it's very difficult to say benchmark, but a good candidate with a good company, he will very, very well paid.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you cannot benchmark because even I have experienced that. There are different quotes in different
Yeah.
places, right? The salaries it can really differ hugely, like a big amount. Cool. So yes, Hani, I mean, thank you so much for your time, and it was genuinely a great conversation. And someone has asked this question, so I'll just end with this: how can they send you their CV?
Maybe he joined late. That's why. No, of course, Varon. I'm happy, of course, to share his CV. Chantel, you can take
So
this scope, huh?
yes, yes. So
Getting
Varun,
CVs.
yes, yeah, I know. So Varun, I mean, if you have a relevant CV, I mean, Hani is very active on LinkedIn, right? He's really active. He posts the latest updates, what's happening, and also job opportunities, I guess. So if you find a correct fit, so do apply. And yeah, and Hani, I mean, if you think candidates are, so even we also have a recruitment firm, right? So we get a lot of CVs, but you don't
Yes.
have to feel bad because you cannot reply to everybody, right? I mean,
Yeah,
everyone wants an opportunity here. So
but Chantel, for recruitment, I can understand because
yeah,
whoever
yeah,
sends the
that's
CV
what
to
we
you,
do.
he knows just sending to you for your own database.
I
But
understand.
send it to me, and you cannot imagine some of the message. It's very sad. He keep
Yeah,
if no need to go on this one, but he let me feel guilty that I'm not able to do
yeah,
something.
yeah.
So, but of course, I'm happy to receive NCV. As I mentioned, also we are hiring. You are hiring. So everyone in the market is hiring. So why not?
Just be patient, persistent, and have the right attitude. I guess that sums
Yeah.
it up, right?
Well, someone sent him CV one day, and next one day I remember at 8 p.m. UAE time. Okay. Second day at 9 a.m. time, he sent me a message on LinkedIn. No, no, seriously, seriously.
Yeah,
And he said, Hi, sir. Did you find any opportunity for me? I said, Okay, what? Should I find it in my dreams? I'm sleeping. So, so I said,
true.
No. Okay, okay, please. Can you please? Okay, I will do my best. But this kind of candidates, of course, I need, please, be guys, be very reasonable, very calm. Choose time, also very important. If you are
Yep,
sitting in country with have time difference, respect other guy time difference. Okay, so
yep.
many factors.
Fair enough. So Varun, I would just tell you, if you're looking for an opportunity, move here. Come on a 2 month, 3 month
Well,
visa.
many
Look
people
for
here in the market,
yeah,
they already worked in India before, in Big Four.
yeah.
Many people. So from the opportunity perspective, yes, there is. Okay, but it
He's from
depends. Okay,
yeah,
it
yeah,
depends. What is the position looking for? What is the firm? What is the company? But you can
yeah.
see in the market, I'm working with many people, ex India as a country. They are moved here and they are working here now, either from Big Four or another non-Big Four.
Yeah. Fair enough. Cool. So Varun, you stand a great chance. And yeah, cool. So yes, Hani, and thank you so much for answering all
Thank
our
you.
questions. Okay, so kindly, and thank you everyone for joining in. We will make an article out of this, and we'll also summarize the entire interview, so those who have missed it can can get an idea. So thanks, guys. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Chantel. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks,
thank
everyone.
you.
And
Thank
best
you
of
so
luck
much.
for all. Best of luck for all.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.